All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, in today's video, we are going to be talking about the head of the Assassin's Creed franchise officially leaving Ubisoft after 20 years of service. Now, this is a pretty major story considering where we were with Assassin's Creed Shadows not even that long ago. By the way, looking at Assassin's Creed Shadows, just taking a look at the numbers, even with the expansion coming out recently, most of the players decided it wasn't in their best interest to return. Seems like the game has been pretty much long forgotten at this point and is being enjoyed less than other Assassin's Creed games that are readily available right now on Steam. But with all that being said, the head of Assassin's Creed leaving right when the company announced its new subsidiary company, I find this to be very curious, so I want to talk about it and see what's going on. The head of the Assassin's Creed has reportedly left Ubisoft after the launch of the company's new subsidiary with Tencent. According to the reports, franchise vice president and executive producer Mark Alexis Cote, who, by the way, we've done videos on Mark Alexis Cote in the past, a few videos actually, because some of the stuff he said in the past has been pretty damn stupid. So we've covered it just, as stories and whatnot. So to see him leaving at a time like this where, everything is fresh, everything is new, this would be the time to stay. It just makes me wonder if he was forcefully exited or if he left on his own accord. Hopefully we find out. But apparently he is no longer with the company. The news was broken to the company via an internal email. Per the memo sent to staff and the first reported by IGN, Vantage Studios co-CEOs Christophe Dorenis and Charlie Guillemot said that Cote was offered a leadership role within the company, but he declined the opportunity. It was a decision that the studio lead says that they were disappointed by. They added that Cote had his own expectations and priorities related to Vantage Studios' creation and future. Oh, so what we got here, ladies and gentlemen, is a very interesting situation of one person has their idea of how they want to lead and the other person has their idea how they want to lead. If you guys are not aware, the new studio, Vantage Studios, is working under a co-CEO structure. So they have two CEOs actively working on the company, one of which is a family member to Yves, obviously, who is the CEO of Ubisoft. So this is his own little plant within the subsidiary to make sure things go exactly how the family wants it to go. With all that being said, apparently Cote must have thought that he had some other, idea regarding the company that they were not going to upheld. Perhaps it was something to do with diversity, equity, inclusion, or perhaps it had something to do with getting rid of diversity, equity, inclusion. Perhaps it has something to do with none of that. We really won't know. But clearly, there was a disagreement here that resulted in both of them having to part ways, which I find to be very interesting because, again, this is the company that tried to convince you that Shadows was such a massive success. They are still, to this day, trying to convince you that Shadows was a massive success. Meanwhile, you had Ubisoft being completely destroyed from within. They had to sell their soul to Tencent. Tencent now owes 25%, or owns, I should say, 25% of all three of their major IPs, and it's only going to get worse from here. It's a beautiful thing to witness. In a statement provided to Insider Gaming, a Ubisoft spokesperson said the following. Following the organizational restructuring announced in March of 2025, Mark Alexis Cote has chosen to pursue a new path elsewhere outside of Ubisoft. While we are saddened to see him go, we're confident that our talented teams will carry forward the strong foundation that he helped build. This is the beginning of the end, boys. I'm telling you right now, this is the beginning of the end for Ubisoft. Slowly but surely, the executive team is going to be leaving one by one, and they're going to be replaced by a brand new executive team, one by one. And these are people that are going to be implanted by the actual family behind Ubisoft, which is why they have one of them as the co-CEO, so they always know what's going on, and they always have a say in what happens. If you scroll down here, it says that we are deeply grateful for the impact that he's had over the years, particularly in shaping the Assassin's Creed brand into what it is today. His leadership, creativity, and dedication have left a lasting mark on our teams and our players. We thank him sincerely for his many contributions, and we wish him continued success in all of his future endeavors. Now, a lot of people are going to be celebrating him leaving. They're probably going to look at him as the one to blame for the reason why Assassin's Creed went the way that it did. But I assure you, there was a lot more hands in the pot. There was a lot more people at the decision-making helm that are the reason why Assassin's Creed Shadow came to be. So don't just blame it on one man. Obviously, he was part of it. But, don't think that it's going to suddenly magically go away because this guy is leaving the company. We still don't know why he's leaving. Cote first joined Ubisoft in 2005 as a software engineer. Over the last 20 years, he had moved up through the company as a lead programmer, level designer, game director, and executive producer. Games produced under his watch include Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, amongst others. Since 2022, Cote has been responsible for the overall strategy for the Assassin's Creed franchise. Now, in terms of the overall strategy for the Assassin's Creed franchise, it's pretty clear that that strategy has massively failed. Okay. I understand that this is a single player game. So naturally, there's going to be this level of a curve. But even with some of the single player games that we have seen in the past, it usually has a heartbeat pattern. That heartbeat pattern means that people are coming back for more and more and more. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is not a short video game, it is a pretty long video game. I think it took me about 30 to 40 hours to complete the game. And keep in mind, I was doing a lot of side quests as well. So it's not a short video game. And overall, if people are not coming back to it, it just shows that the interest wasn't there. Even if you were to look at the achievements for Steam and scroll down and try to find the actual achievement that showcases the end, you'll probably be somewhere within the 20% or less, I gotta imagine. If you keep scrolling down, let's see, epilogue. Complete the epilogue. Only 15% of players actually completed Assassin's Creed Shadows. The majority of the players have never completed this game, right? 15%. That is actually pretty fucking terrible for a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows. I would imagine that the number would be a little bit higher because people usually keep coming back for more. These are games that are highly replayable, which is why they ended up going with the RPG, RPG light, let's just say, versions of Assassin's Creed Shadows to keep people playing. It didn't work here, right? It didn't work here. Keep people completely checked out. There is no heartbeat pattern here whatsoever. If you want an example of a heartbeat pattern, you could just look no further than something like maybe Silksong. Let's go look at Hollow Knight Silksong and see what's going on here. Hollow Knight Silksong, heartbeat pattern. This is what I mean. When you see a video game that has a heartbeat pattern, it means that people are going to sleep, coming back, going to sleep, coming back, right? Or if the weekend shows up, more people play. A heartbeat pattern showcases that players are interested in the game and they're not refunding it. They're coming back for more. They're coming back, wanting to actually play the game. This is what you need to see when it comes to a single player video game. This showcases a healthy single player video game. Shadows did not have that. Shadows, unfortunately, did not have a heartbeat pattern whatsoever, and it just led to pure utter destruction. And this is something that led to Alexis leaving the company. Now, whether or not this is going to affect Assassin's Creed overall as a franchise, I don't think so. I think what's going to cover Assassin's Creed as a whole more, or affect Assassin's Creed more as a whole, is going to be the partial ownership of Tencent. I think Tencent having 25% ownership, even though Ubisoft claims to have full creative control over Assassin's Creed, I think that 25% is going to be very loud for Assassin's Creed. I think Tencent is going to want some changes made to the game that might be good or bad for the game, but I think they are going to be the ones that are going to make the most changes to Assassin's Creed as a whole, whereas everybody else who is at the company is just going to do the same shit that they've always been doing, right? Tencent knows exactly what they're doing, and they are slowly but surely taking control of Ubisoft and their three major IPs that they want to get their hands on. And right now, they had to invest about $1 billion. But I guarantee you, their play is for the long haul because they know that Ubisoft is going to fuck up again. And once they do, they're going to be here to sweep up the very, very cheap pieces that follow after their failure. So you guys let me know. What do you think about Alexis leaving Ubisoft as a whole? What do you think was the reason why he ended up leaving Ubisoft as a whole, considering that it had to do with a disagreement over how to run the company? You let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next one.